Hey guys, welcome once again to the I Heart You King of the Hill. I'm Doa, that's Artosis as usual, and today our Korean player Tranzit from Golden Coin is going to go for his third straight win. So, wow, our first Korean player, he's already got 2 wins under his belt.
Yeah.
He's going for another one, and today he's fighting against Xixo.
Well, Xixo is a really strong opponent, so can Tranzit keep up this win streak? I'm not sure, but I mean, having beaten a DKMR player as well as Savitz, that's quite a feet. So
yeah, he's beaten 2 really good players already. Xixo plays for Team Root. I honestly haven't seen him play a whole lot myself. Have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got to meet and hang out with Xixo quite a bit actually when I was
All right.
doing all those ESGN shows. He actually lives in Berlin, so
All right.
he would show up a lot. Really smart guy, very good, and I got to say I really like his decks. He tweets them sometimes, so definitely check him out on Twitter and whatnot. But just a very good player, always right up towards the top of the ladder.
All right, great. Well, it's going to be an interesting Warlock deck against Warrior. Tranzit bringing in the Demon Lock. Yeah, it's kind of a deck that a lot of people have been talking about since Void Caller came out, but Tranzit is really going all out, man. I mean, he even has Illidan's Storm Rage. He's got Sacrificial Pact. He is, all out. He's all in on demons.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. And the Sacrificial Pact, actually, the more I think about it, I'm like, well, this is kind of a weird card. This is kind of like I mean, it's very good if you're playing against another Zoo deck, but realistically, you can use it on a Void Caller or something, right?
Yeah,
you can
definitely.
use it if you have Illidan Storm Rage in your hand. You play that Void Caller, and you can kill it right there. That's, so I mean, there's some tricks with it. It's kind of an interesting deck, and I mean, we actually had to look this up. Illidan Storm Rage is, in fact, he counts as a demon in Hearthstone.
He is. I knew he was a demon from the lore from WoW, but in Hearthstone as a card, yes, he is also a demon as well. But, I gotta say, I feel like Xixo has a good match against this. Generally speaking, Warrior does pretty good against some more aggressive Warlock decks.
I have to agree with you there, Noah. Look at this deck right now, right? It's Control Warrior, and he's got the Unstable Ghouls added in. He's got the Death's Bite added in. He's even got a Spellbreaker here, which is kind of interesting. You don't normally see Silence in a Warrior deck.
Yeah, I've been actually playing around with a Warrior deck just last night, actually, that includes a Spellbreaker. It's very, very similar. In fact, it's almost identical, except that I've got Alex Strauss instead of Baron Geddon. But otherwise, I think it's actually, just looking at it, I think it's basically the same deck. And I like it a lot, actually. It has a lot of ways to handle some of the newer threats. Having basically quadruple Whirlwind with 2 Death's Bite and 2 Whirlwinds. It's so nice in terms
of... 2 Unstable Ghouls.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so, what's sextuple
Dude,
Whirlwind? I don't know.
The thing is about the new Warrior decks is with the Acolyte of Pain, you draw 3 cards off him every time.
Oh, yeah.
Probably. It's crazy.
It's getting really easy to do that. It's getting really easy to get a lot of armor off the Armor Smith. So I feel like the Nax cards have actually recently been a huge boon to Control Warriors. So right now, I gotta say, I really favor the Warrior deck. That's tough to say, man. I mean, Tranzit's on my team, so I gotta say, it may be a little bit of bias, but I think I'm gonna give Xixo a big edge in game 1.
I have to agree with you there. I mean, Xixo is a fantastic player, and this deck looks really strong and really well suited to kill his Zoo deck. So, I guess we should probably just check it out, man. I'm pretty excited actually to see how this Illidan Storm Rage and Sacrificial Pact works out.
I'm ready. Let's get into game number 1. Alright guys, here we go. Game number 1 of the I Hearth You, King of the Hill, Tranzit versus Xixo, Demon Lock versus Control Warrior. And I'd say that's, getting the Void Walker is nice. Oh, 2 Void Walkers? Alright. With the coin, that's not that bad.
But look at this hand for Xixo, man.
Yeah,
he's got
really
he's got enough here to kill. Okay, so this is
2
ridiculous.
Void Walkers, right, for that?
Yeah, I mean, he's got the Fire War Axe to kill off 2 minions, then he's got the Death Spite that'll kill off at least 2 minions, and he's got a Slam that can kill a minion, and then also he has...
an Unstable Ghoul! Wow!
Well, here's the thing, though. Except for a few finishers in this deck, the whole deck just is anti-aggro stuff.
Yeah,
so, as we were both saying, this is pretty well favored, I would say.
I think so. I mean, that's the thing is that, we said it's going to be really tough for Tranzit to win this one, and I think nothing is going to change there. Yeah, coining out that Harvest Column on turn 2 like you would imagine anyone would, but there's the Unstable Ghoul after the first round is taken out by the Fiery War Axe.
Oh, this is annoying.
Yeah, it is.
What do you even do? I would be so sad right now if I was Tranzit. What?
He's like 1 mana away from being able to make a pretty decent play with the Unstable, or Power Overwhelming rather, on the Damage Golem and then into Void Walker. But I think we're just going to see him put down a Voidwalker. Yeah, okay, he's just going to life tap first, looks like. What do you draw? Nerubian Egg.
Okay, well,
it's...
this was probably his best play here, really.
Oh, wow, okay, and doing 1 damage with that, too.
Well, with a slam in hand and an Armor Smith...
I think this is an easy choice to...
I think so. In
okay.
fact, this is even better now that I think about it. Now he's got the double Whirlwind on board waiting. This is...
Yep. Oh, man, what a clear.
Damn, I tell you, Warrior's coming back, man.
Oh, Warrior's coming back in a huge way. Yeah, I mean, I hadn't played Warrior for quite a while, and I just started again last night, and I'm loving it, man. The new decks are really, really solid.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Well...
So, you know, I feel like you definitely play the Egg here. What else, though? Let's see. He did life tap, too. Okay. Looks like it's just going to be the Egg, then. So going into turn 5, I mean, he's going to have a decent play if he decides to do the Doomguard. Going to have a lot to discard there, but I think this is where we're going to see the Voidwalker. But let's see where Xixo does first.
Well, I think with
Or not
Xixo,
Voidwalker, Void Terror, that's what it is. Yeah.
I would like to see Lotheb, maybe, because with this Egg, you got to watch out for things like the Power Overwhelming, which he actually does have in hand, and this is going to kind of screw up the next turn. That Egg is not going to be useful yet.
Yeah, that's true. Power Overwhelming probably into a Void Terror. We'll see if he goes for it. Lotheb is out, too. Oh, okay. So not going too crazy with it yet.
Yeah, but I mean, this does a good job anyways, right?
Sure does, yeah. All right. Yeah, I like that too. Getting the Void Caller out. It's like void everything. Void something, void something.
Well, his whole deck is about to be voided. Xixo is in such a good position here.
Yeah, dude. He's got everything he needs.
Yeah, he's got so much removal right now. Now, this is actually kind of cool because the Death's Bite is actually going to put this guy into range to possibly die from the 3/3, but he does have that Sludge Belcher. I gotta say, the Sludge Belcher has added so much to these control decks.
I think out of all the cards that came up with Nax, Sludge Belcher at this point is probably my favorite. It's got great stats for the mana cost. It's got such a good ability in that it comes back as another taunt. Like, my opinion, card of the expansion right there.
I gotta agree with you, but look at this awesome play. Using the Void Terror, that's gonna leave it with this one demon left in his hand.
It's gonna be a 10-7 now. Wow, and there's the Doomguard as well.
Look at this.
In really good shape. And the Soulfire, you got to keep it with the Doomguard discard.
I tell you, these Zoo decks, these New Age Zoo decks, can do some crazy stuff. And now he's staring down a 10-7 and a 5-6 with no way to kill him right now. He's going to have to slam to fish for something.
This is really crazy, actually, because he doesn't have a shield block or anything like that to pair with the shield slam. Just the Armor Smith, double Armor Smith.
And that's
which is
15
good, but
damage, Doa.
He's going to be down to 7 because I don't think that Transit is going to bother clearing those minions just yet. In fact, probably going to see a Defender of Arius. That's going to be 17 damage, actually. Where's he going to put that Defender? Yeah, I like that, actually.
Yeah.
Saving the Void Terror. It doesn't save it from Execute, but it still does make it a little bit harder for Xixo to clear.
Well, that is going to be that, Doa. There's actually no way out of this with Xixo's hand. He had a ridiculously strong start, killing off everything, but that one play with the Void Terror and the fact he didn't have an Execute, that was it.
Dude, like, how many times has it been now that we've been like, well, Transit's really at a disadvantage with this deck, and then he wins anyway. And it's usually with Void Terror. That's the funny thing. He's going to gain a little bit of armor, but, yeah, it's just not going to be enough.
Well, it looks like, you know, he's gaining a good amount, and he has 2 shield slams, so actually he's able to kill off both the big guys.
Is he really? Wow, he is. Well, never mind.
Double
I guess
Armor
it's not quite as done
can do
yet.
some work, that's for sure.
Yeah, and he's got Garrosh in his hand, too, but we'll see what Transit draws. This next one could be big. He's got 4 on the board. He needs to summon up 5 more damage somehow. Another Doomguard would do it.
Yeah, it certainly would. You know, we were saying it was done maybe a little bit before it was done, but
maybe a little bit.
Still, like, this is... He does 6 damage this turn, leaves him at 3.
Yeah, I feel like he's got to clear that 1/1 now. Being at 15 with a weapon on the board, he's too vulnerable to Garrosh if something gets drawn. Although, I guess never mind, he's got 2 turns, actually, before the Garrosh Cruel Taskmaster can even happen. This game has been so fast.
Yeah, it's pretty fast and furious, that's for sure. But
almost too fast, too furious.
Sounds like a great movie name.
That's right. I'll make a movie someday and I'll call it that. It's brilliant.
But yeah, I mean, you're right. He's at 15, so that's like a little bit scary. But the most damage that could be done is if he draws a Whirlwind next turn, and that would be 14 damage. Right. So
I still like getting rid of that Armor Smith, though, just to play on the safe side. Now he's just hoping his opponent doesn't draw a Brawl, which he doesn't, but he can start clearing a little bit with Garrosh. Yeah, killing the wolf is a good idea.
Well, that's for 5
5
damage.
on the board, yeah.
Oh, man. Xixo is barely staying alive here.
Really not looking good for Xixo though overall. I like this. I mean, even though it does mean he takes a little bit of extra damage, it means that that's another minion that can't be buffed. But looking pretty grim. Not really the draws that Tranzit's looking for though. And now he's a little bit
this
low
is actually,
here.
Oh my god, did we like say that this game was over?
It
really
was over.
looked it, but...
Unstable Ghoul too. Oh wow, this could actually be, this could go somewhere else here.
Wait, hold on, so...
We'll see. He's got 4 health left, depending on what he draws.
He's got to kill a minion off here.
Yeah. He can't play that Flame Imp either. Wow.
No, he definitely... The Flame Imp, I don't think, is going to see the light of day.
You know, and this does just show you the strength of Control Warrior right now, too. I mean, you can get down below sub 10 health against a deck like this and still have a fighting chance, but there's a Doomguard.
But that's not enough right now.
It's not, you're right.
He needs more than Doomguard. He needs to be able to kill this 1/3, but he's only got 2 points on board, and he has to life tap here. And he has to draw something that deals 1 extra damage. And if he does that, he can win.
He does. He has to life tap. He has no other choice here, but... if he doesn't get what he needs, the game is over. The game basically all comes down to this life tap by Tranzit.
Well, I wish he'd just life tap and
Me too, yeah. I think he's just double checking, making sure he's gone over all the options.
Yeah. Well, there's just no way to kill off this 1/3.
Like an abusive sergeant here would be perfect. I would wait to play that Doomguard until you life tap too.
Yeah.
I mean, with the damage that it takes from the unstable ghoul, it doesn't really matter, but still.
I don't understand playing this.
Ooh, me neither.
I actually really disagree playing that. In fact.
Well,
and in fact,
doesn't that mean he just loses? Yeah.
Yeah, he just life tapped into Knife Juggler. If he had life tapped first,
yep.
The Knife Juggler would have given him 2 knives, and if one of the knives hit the 1/3,
that would have been it.
He would have won the game.
Wow, that was a big mistake by Tranzit. Whoops.
Yeah. So wow, I'm actually.
And that just goes to show, doesn't matter what the situation is, you really need to watch the order in which you play things.
Wait, he might actually.
Can he still do it?
No,
I don't think so.
He actually, well, if knives land. No, he's dead. There was definitely some misplays here, even at the end. I think too.
Yeah,
I think there was actually a way to get lucky knives even there.
Yeah, there was. But
if he had, maybe, yeah, I don't know. It's too bad, but that is going to be game number 1.
It's a weird game. Let's move on to game 2. Alright guys, well Xixo takes a pretty exciting, weird at the end of game 1.
I really thought he was going to die there, but
he should have died,
underestimate Armor Smith. Like, he did a fantastic job with those Armor Smiths, gaining the armor and removing everything. So, good work to Xixo. Tranzit definitely with some misplays there.
Yep, I would say so. But he's trying to bring it back with Priest. So, kind of going to the opposite end of the spectrum here, but playing a very Nax sort of centric Priest deck. A lot of interesting stuff in here. He's got the Zombie Chow, he's got Fugen and Stalag, he's got like a lot of cool stuff, and this is what I love, is that like a lot of times too the Korean players are willing to get crazy and they're willing to kind of really like throw stuff out there.
Yeah, and you know, it looks like he is attributing to Zealot. I've used some Zealot priest decks before, and I really do like him. I think he's a very good priest deck builder. And I like what he's done here. Like the Fugen and Stalag, as soon as I saw those, I felt like those were meant for a priest deck, because you run out of win conditions a lot of times when you're trying to play priest.
That is true.
Priest doesn't really have a lot of pressure in the early game, so the removal just kind of hangs in your opponent's hand. So that's really cool to see that in here. And look at, there's so much Death Rattle in here.
Yeah, I mean, he's even running 2 Death Lords, which I've found can be a very hit or miss card. Like, I'm totally not sold on Death Lord yet.
I think you don't play it against, I think you just let it sit in your hand against Warrior.
Yeah, I don't think it's too good against Warrior, but I don't know, I'm really on the fence about Deathlord. Like, I've had some games where it's just, like, amazing. I've had some games against me where it seems amazing, but then I've had a lot of games, as many games, too, where it just kind of really hurts me as well. So, I'm not sure. There might be too much risk.
That's why it's a cool card, though.
Yeah.
It's because it's like, well, I'm not really sure. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
He's cool, but, you know, is it kind of like Tinkmaster 2.0 in terms of, like, being potentially very good, but potentially not good at all?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Like, that's what I kind of feel when I look at this guy. Like, he's 3 mana, he either really helps or really hurts you, like... And Tinkmaster eventually got, like, nerfed, right? He got phased out by balance, but I feel like Deathlord is probably just going to get phased out from being not consistent enough.
You might be right about that.
I've got a feeling.
A possibility.
I'm not sure, but I've got a feeling.
Yeah. You know, it's kind of interesting to see Baron Rivendare in here as well. Like, I mean, there are obviously so many Death Rattles that it makes sense. I just imagine that going off with Deathlord and like you put out like Gromash and Rag.
Or he wants to like give his opponent a lot of healing with his Zombie Chow and stuff like that. So it's the Baron Rivendare's an interesting addition.
Well,
but with Deathlord, it's good.
If you have out
Loot Hoarder, it's good.
You have out your Akanai.
Yeah.
And that goes off. That's 10 damage right there. So
that's true. Yeah.
Pretty cool, actually. I'm excited to see how this deck works. Like, I have never seen a priest deck quite like this.
Yeah. Well, I think I want to get into the game and see if Tranzit can tie it up with this priest deck, or if Xixo is going to take a 2-0 lead. Let's get in the game. Alright guys, game number 2, and I'm excited about this one. And you and I were talking a little bit about this priest deck, and we kind of came to this conclusion that any deck that relies on a lot of combos and looks really cool is probably bad. Because if it's got that much coolness and that much combo-ness, it's probably inconsistent, unfortunately. So we'll see. I hope I'm wrong, because this deck does look really cool.
Yeah, I think you're right on that, though. But we'll see. Like, I'm definitely going to be bringing this to the ladder for a bit and see how it goes.
I gotta say, I want to try it, too. My poor ranking, but I do want to try it, yeah. Going from super consistent Control Warrior to, like, super inconsistent Crazy Priest. But who knows? Maybe we're wrong. We'll see.
Let's take a look at this hand, right? Mm-hmm. That's a pretty good opener hand for a priest, right? He's got a lot of early game in there. He's got the coin, so he can actually throw down that power word on it.
He's going to be happy he had that, too, because his opponent has a Fiery War Axe in his hand, which, you know, when you're playing priest against warrior, whenever you play that Northstar Cleric without Power Word Shield, you kind of guarantee yourself that they're going to have Fiery War Axe in their hand. It's kind of like karmic, like
they just always have
inevitability. He didn't play it. Oh no!
That was a bit greedy.
Yeah, it really was. It was. You can't be greedy against warriors like that. Wow, I'm really surprised.
Well, you know, it's too bad that he did that, but that does give Xixo a little bit of a lead. Looking at Xixo's hand, not too bad. He's got some utility in it. He's got some early minions. So,
oh, Tranzit, why?
You know, it is warrior versus priest, so. Who knows how long this could go on? This matchup definitely can go to fatigue.
We do hit fatigue a lot in this matchup for sure. And he's going to go ahead and Power Word Shield that Zombie Chow, I guess. And he draws another Zombie Chow, but there's a slam, and that's going to let him finish off with the axe. Wow, so much value out of that axe for Xixo. Hey, have some health. Why not?
Well, it looks like, you're right. That axe, all it did was gain him cards.
Pretty
gained
much.
Him 2 cards, basically. Kind of crazy. Didn't even lose health off of it.
Undertaker, and I would say, Zombie Chow, and then Power Word Shield. Draw a card and make sure that Undertaker lives a bit longer.
Oh, okay, because he's got another Death Rattle in hand, so may as well make it really big and try to get it through.
Yep, I like that, actually. I like that better than playing the Spider or something like that, you know? Let's look on Xixo's side right now. He's got a couple options. Let's see. 4 mana. 4 mana is always kind of an awkward turn, I feel, for Control Warrior.
It's so often like Armor Up plus a 2-cost spell.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't really care for any of his options here. I think this is totally fine, but it's definitely going to be taken out, I would say.
Yeah, I would say so. We'll see if it gets buffed enough that he... Oh yeah, there's the Defender of Argus. Okay, so he's only going to draw 1 off that, but he got good value earlier, so that's okay, and that's a nice draw. That is a really nice draw. We'll see when he decides to use it, but it's always good to have an Execute in hand.
Indeed it is. Well, I don't really care for any of his plays here. Maybe just play the Sludge Belcher.
I was going to say, he still doesn't have that great of a hand. No. I think Sludge Belcher would be an okay thing because it would conceivably trade 2 for 1 at the minimum. I don't think you should be greedy enough to like shield block and see what you draw into. I don't think that's a good idea. You just lose it all right away. Armor Smith and then like, no.
I definitely could see him going, for instance, Cruel Taskmaster and Execute.
I suppose this works too.
This is actually
this
is the better play for sure. It gains him the health right back up, and it leaves him on that 1 charge, which is actually like a really good place to be on Death's Fight.
Yeah, you know, Zombie Chow is another card where I think it can potentially be really good, but I also think it's inconsistent. You know, I feel like it requires very specific situations to be good.
I kind of like it in Priests, I gotta say, because like in the late game, it's going to be useful as a combo card. And in the early game, I mean, it's a 2/3, and it kind of just keeps you alive. You're not really worried about dealing damage in the early game, so I think it's cool in a priest deck. We'll see, though, how well this works out.
And I mean, I always think of things from the aggressive mindset, too. So as an aggressive card, I'm actually not a big fan of it. Let's see what he does here. He's still got that execute.
Well, he definitely could.
I think
just
he was thinking of doing that.
rock
Yeah.
it with this. Yeah, I think that this is
Taskmaster. Yeah.
pretty much the best way to go about this.
Right. I agree. And so he's gonna have 3 mana left over. I would say there's a couple things you can do. Play that Armor Smith would be what I would do.
Maybe play the Armor Smith and swing at the 2/3.
Yep, I think so too. Yeah, kill the 2/3 and then gain yourself 2 armor. Kind of make back the health you just lost, killing the creature.
It does make it though, so that this 2/1 should be taken out by the spider most likely.
Yeah, that's okay though, because that gains you another army, or another armor rather, and it also does kind of pop the death rattle too.
By the way, we didn't mention this, but he stole a Shield Slam. So
Oh,
unless
he
his
did.
Thought Steal gets the 1 shield block left in his deck, that's a worthless card right there.
Yeah, that's not too helpful. Did he also grab Sylvanas though? Is that what that was? Oh no, Armor Smith. Ah, I see. He played it out at the
No, he actually just stole it.
Oh, he did. Okay, yeah, there we go. Cabal
Which is
Shadow
actually
Priest. Yep.
a fantastic move. Cabal Shadow Priest just so strong.
So he must have grabbed Sylvanas then, I guess, right?
Yeah, it looks like it. Really, that one's good at least.
Yeah. Wow, that's a lot of armor over to Transit. He's
And
gonna lose a couple creatures.
You know what's hilarious here? He now can Shield Slam for 4.
Yeah, he can actually.
And he can
oh
run in
man.
Armor Smith as well. Like, that's just too funny for me.
Wow. I wonder if he'll
He
see
better
it.
use it now.
I wonder
Like,
if he see it. Yeah, he
this
has
is
to
his
use it
only
now.
chance for it to actually do anything.
Seriously, yeah. He's got to use it.
He's got to use it.
Yep, he's picked it up. All right.
This is just gonna
That's
be so funny.
yeah. Well, there you go. Maybe that Shield Slam, I guess, not too useful, not too useless if you steal away
Yeah.
an Armor Smith. That works. Yeah,
Well,
Sylvanas. That's a pretty strong board for Transit.
That's really good board, and if you look at his hand, it's really strong as well. So Xixo here may be in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, I think that's possible. We'll see. Gonna play Lotheb. Always a nice card to have out on the board there.
Probably wants to trade it with Sylvanas, I would say, before he starts playing his other minions out. Sylvanas definitely can be pretty annoying.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Transit at this point can just attack through, though. You know, he doesn't need to worry about trying to trade with Lotheb.
Wow.
Yeah, just does some damage. It's another
Wait,
9.
Is that Stalag or Fueg?
That is, I have no idea.
I think it's Fuegan.
I have no idea.
I think he's the bigger attacker.
Fuegan and Stalag.
Fuegan and Stalag.
All right, armor up. Gromash, not what he needs right now.
Yeah, not really drawn anything too useful here.
Yep. At least he doesn't have to lose anything to Sylvanas. That's a nice thing, I suppose. But let's see. Yeah, I'd say just attack it.
And oh my god, I just saw
Did
the
he
Thought
just-
Steal.
yeah, me
That's-
too.
That's crazy. Sludge Belcher and a weapon.
Wow.
He's up over 30 health right now with that armor. He's got like such a nice hand still. Transit's killing it this game.
Getting Death Spite is huge. Maybe we were totally wrong about this deck.
Maybe this deck is on.
I have to take this home and play this on the ladder later now. That's awesome.
Oh, we should see him healing up a little bit, maybe.
Possibly. Healing one of the minions, I would say. Yeah. And looks like Death Spite is going to be what it is. And there we go. There's 4 more damage.
Oh wow. He's
He is
just going to
really
phase
hurting
with it.
Xixo.
Well, may as well. He has him down to 10. This is an easy kill for next turn.
Yeah, he's got Leaf on the board. There's Ragnaros. Not exactly the most useful card right now. You know, I would say, what do you do? Like double Unstable Ghoul just to try to live? Double Unstable Ghoul.
Though I don't
armor
know
up.
that there's much of a chance here, to be honest.
I'm okay with this too. I mean, Ragnaros has a
Yeah,
chance
if he gets
to
a
hit
lucky
minion.
hit, if he gets a
Yep.
7-3 maybe.
And he does not. Oh, he's going to give more health to it instead. Something. Yeah, that's well played.
Yeah,
He's just going to
and
concede. Yep.
the right move.
I think so.
Crazy, crazy play by this priest deck.
I'm glad we get to see it for 2 games. That was cool. All tied up. Alright guys, well, we're all tied up, which is exactly what I like to see, because the more games, the better in my opinion, and we get to see a second game with this crazy priest deck from Transit. Very cool stuff, but he has to go up against a Miracle Rogue deck, now from Xixo, and it's got, you know, a couple tiny tweaks here and there, no Cold Blood. He does have a Sludge Belcher in there, and, you know, I've noticed that on ladder lately, is that when you run into Miracle Rogue, a lot of times they'll have, like, an extra kind of annoying taunt minion to get through to protect, like, their, auctioneers and things like that. Like, I actually ran into a Miracle Rogue that had Deathlord, and while I'm not a big fan of that card in general, I know I just kind of, like, went on a rant about how I don't think that it's that good. In Miracle Rogue, Maybe it is. Maybe you could convince me that an early Death Lord could help you really set up some comfortable combos later. So
well, I mean, you do have double sap, right? So
exactly.
That can get rid of something big that comes out before it should. Kind of interesting. I like the Sludge Belcher as well. You know, I guess the most interesting thing about this Miracle deck for me is the fact we don't have any Azure Drakes. He's replaced them with Gnomish Inventors. So he's going a little bit lower on that mana curve, and he's skipping that Cold Blood that oftentimes actually goes very well with Gnomish Inventor. But
I think if you're going to include Loatheb in a Sludge Belcher, you do have to go a little bit lower on the mana curve for your draw. Because, I mean, that's the thing, is Azure Drake, you don't often use the spell power that comes with them. They're basically just a 4/4 for 5 that draws you a card. So if their main function is the card draw, why not go 1 mana cheaper? Same health on the Gnomish Inventor.
That's a good point.
So I do like that. I do like that decision. And actually, just to go back, the game I played where they played the Death Lord, actually, when it got low health, he Shadow Stepped it. And I'm like, whoa, because now it's so hard to kill. The 16 health of creature to get through to protect that Auctioneer. There's some stuff in there, and I think the Sludge Belcher is going to possibly fill the same function.
Yeah, well, Sludge Belcher is like such a resilient taunt.
Yeah.
Like whether you Black Knight or what, you still have another taunt. It's my favorite. It's definitely helped out slower control decks very much.
I think it edges out Loatheb by like this much. Like here's Loatheb and Sludge Belcher's like right here. Maybe, it's really close.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, as far as this matchup goes, I definitely have to give a big edge to Xixo.
I agree.
I feel like Priest is... Priest and Paladin, I always feel like they have almost no chance, unless it's the aggro Pally. But I feel like they just don't have much of a chance against Miracle. They just don't really have the weapons. They aren't quick enough.
Well, we'll see. I mean, the thing is if he's able to get a solid early game, if that's able to happen, and he can get to the point where he's playing Fugan and Stalag and things like that, he can get some of those beefier minions that are hard to remove out, maybe he's got a chance. But I think you're right. I think, in general, you really do have to give the big edge to Miracle in most games with this matchup.
Well, man, let's jump in and see. I'm excited to see what this Zedalot Priest can actually do against a Miracle. And,
Me too, man.
Kind of interesting to see these variations. So.
Yeah, let's get into Game 3 and see who takes the lead. Alright guys, here we go. Game 3, Tranzit versus Xixo. Who takes the lead? We'll find out. This crazy Priest deck against Miracle Rogue. Kind of a Neo-Miracle Rogue. Ditching the Azure Drakes for the Gnomish Engineers, and then also the Sludge Belcher. I do like the changes. We talked about it a little bit already, but it looks good.
It is really cool. And I'm excited to see what Tranzit's Priest deck can do against this. Of course, I guess designed by Zedalot, got to give him a lot of credit there too. But
that's right.
Been well played so far by Tranzit.
Pretty good first hand too. I think if you're going to ask for something to start against a Miracle Rogue, getting the coin, getting a Northshire Cleric, and the Power Word Shield, I think this is all quite good. I feel like this time you definitely play the Cleric and you definitely Power Word Shield.
You think you Power Word Shield right away? Or you don't coin out this 2/3?
I guess not. Yeah, he's not going to coin it out. Yeah.
Huh. I guess just no coin at all. I was thinking about maybe just coining out the 2/3 Zombie Chow, but okay.
I was thinking about coining out the Death Lord now, but
you know the cool thing about Death Lord?
He will.
Yeah, I kind of like this.
It's so hard for Rogue to get rid of right now.
It's really a pain. And the thing is, what if they kill it? And Leroy comes out and they don't have a Shadow Step.
Oh, that's such a good point. Oh man, you're right.
It's crazy if
you could
like
actually destroy Rogue with Death Lord, couldn't you? Wow.
Maybe.
I hadn't even thought of that before. That's amazing, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting thought, but I guess we'll see how it goes. So Powered Shield come out.
Alright, I do like this. Puts it out of Eviscerate range. And just healing up and drawing a card. Why not?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that move right there.
And sure, why not just finish that up? You've already drawn a card, you can get rid of the 3/3 that way. I like it.
You never really want to let that stay out, so any minions stay out really for a Miracle Rogue. Now looking at this, are we going to see something like... I mean, that gives +1. He could Eviscerate here and then attack. Wait, no, that's only 6.
Yeah. He'd have to, like, prep Eviscerate to kill it. Is he actually going to... Oh, prep Blade Flurry.
Oh, okay,
because he's got Spell Power, duh.
That was really smart.
Yeah.
Oh my god, now,
what?
if this gets killed, bad news. But if it doesn't, good news.
I don't think it's going to get killed. There's nothing in his hand that can really handle this right now.
I don't think so.
Not that I'm seeing, no. It's got 4 health, too. I mean, that makes it automatically awesome against Priest, so yeah. Wow. Yeah, he's kind of like saying, well, the Death Lord didn't exactly work out. And, Again, that kind of goes to me not being totally sold on the Death Lord yet. He's just going to sap both.
Well, yeah,
I think that's great.
I definitely see what you're saying with that, but this is kind of an interesting way that this has turned out.
Definitely, yeah.
And I think you just leave this guy out. Like, you could Shadow Step him and replay him the next turn, but do you really need to do that?
I guess he does. Okay. I don't think you need to, but
Yeah, well, if your opponent didn't have anything that turn, I'm trying to think on turn 5 what they would have.
You know, the thing you have to think about is what would Priest be able to play to one-shot the Auctioneer? And really the only option, I think, is Holy Fire. I can't think of anything else.
Well, Holy Fire costs 6, too, so...
Oh, you're right. Yeah. So it's not... Yeah, so there was...
really hard one to do anything with, but...
So I don't think I would have Shadow Stepped that. I can think of a way it would have died on turn 4, but, 6 are just playing it safe, and it does give him a cheaper Auctioneer to play later, so nothing wrong with that, really.
Well, let's see what he wants to do here. Definitely has a lot of potential here. Can drop the gadgets on and use Backstab with the spell power.
Yeah.
To help out quite a bit, draw some extra cards. Has that SI7 agent as well.
Yeah. Needs to be careful, though, that he doesn't give 3 health to one of these spiders, too. Yeah. Oh, that Shiv was like the perfect draw here. He can handle both the spiders now.
Yeah. Oh, well, you could with SI7 as well. I think I'd rather do it. Well, no, I mean, SI7 gives you another minion on the board, but Shiv draws you 2 cards here.
Yeah. I like the Shiv.
I could actually see an Eviscerate going off on this 3-4 as well. Like,
Just
I don't care if you have...
1-3?
Yeah.
Or 1-4, I guess.
1-4, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's okay.
I do like that.
Okay. Gets a preparation, too. Let's see if he uses it. I think he would. Why not do that in Shiv? Yeah, you can get rid of the 1-1 now.
Yeah. Well,
wow,
actually,
what
it's a 1-4.
Oh, 1-4, never mind. Yeah. Alright, Shiv to the face.
Look at how many cards he's gotten to draw off this. That Death Lord really not paying off for Transit this game.
Yep, he's more like a friend lord for Xixo. Alright, well, the 1-4. I like your response of, Yeah, that was pretty much.
Well, let's see here. He gets his own Gadgetzan, and he actually gets a Deadly Poison. Pretty much one of the worst cards to steal in the entire game.
Yeah, it's not going to help him too much. But then again, that's what we said about Shield Slam last game.
Well, he's got to get the...
he steals Assassin's Blade.
Yeah, that's about it. If he gets that, that's insane.
Yeah. Well, Fan of Knives not going to do a ton of damage here. 7 mana. Let's see. Sludge Belcher would be possibly a consideration here, just to keep that Auctioneer a little bit safer.
You could do that. I think Novish Inventor is kind of a consideration as well.
Yeah, I think the thing is you want to be able to do the Fan of Knives. Yep, there you go. And if you cast a Sludge Belcher, you can't. So, ooh, I like this actually. I like this a lot. Now you can weapon up Deadly Poison, take out either one of these guys. Yeah.
In fact, I love playing this. And he can
better.
attack and just conceal.
Wow.
Or I guess he already could attack.
Yeah,
I mean, look at this. He's at full health right now. He's got a strong hand. He was down to 2 cards when that Gadgetzan Auctioneer popped out. If any other minion had popped out, I think that Transit would actually be way ahead right now. But as is, this is tough.
Yeah.
Well, he gets, it looks like a Van Cleef as well as a Backstab.
Which is, I mean, Van Cleef is nice, kind of interesting, but the Backstab not too helpful. With everything concealed, he's just going to do 1 damage. There's his opponent's Van Cleef. Let's see, so 7 damage. He's got Leroy in his Shadow Step, so that's 19 total. And that plus the weapon, I believe that he could... Let's see, I think he could kill him.
Doing all that, though.
I don't think so.
Yeah, because
Leroy... Oh, you're right, he is. You're right. Never mind.
That's okay, though.
Oh, no, he just drew the Assassin's Blade right after he Deadly Poisoned. Oh, well.
I think it's all totally fine, though. Like, if he just deals a bunch of damage this turn and puts another minion on that board, like, I'd probably just play the Sludge Belcher this turn.
Yeah.
Attack with everything, play Sludge Belcher. Or, I mean, this is fine, too.
You know,
that's actually even smarter, because if there's, like, a circle of healing or something...
True.
He can totally take out everything. But he's got so much damage on board right now.
I would be kind of tempted to leave the Soul Priest as well, even with Circle of Healing. I feel like if it would have been there, it would have already been played last turn. So you're counting on him top-decking it. Yeah. And if you leave their Soul Priest alive, it means they can't heal. So I would take the risk and leave it alive. But I suppose you can't argue too much about killing it either because of that Circle of Healing. You don't want them to top-deck it. You know?
You don't want to lose these guys. This is a really hard board to deal with right now.
Well, he would basically need a Spell Power Holy Nova, and he does not have that. He does have a Death Lord, though.
Looks like he's going to be playing the Van Cleef as well here, so it'll get a little bit of a boost.
Yeah, like what, 6/6? Yep.
Yeah, not too bad, but still, look, he's at 20 health, and course, this is Hearthstone, and this is a Miracle Rogue deck, so 20 not that high, really.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so what are we going to see? How is he going to get rid of this Death Lord and also win the game this turn? Can he do that?
Well, let's take a look. Yeah, I mean, he can easily take out the Death Lord, like attacking it with his sword and then the 2 guys. That leaves 4 plus 12. No, it doesn't look like he can win this turn.
So then
He can get him down to 4 if he wants.
Do you just put down Lotheb then to just sort of soak damage from Van Cleef? Maybe the Sludge Belcher.
That might be smart.
Yeah.
Sludge Belcher, I think, is an okay move too.
I think if you put down Lotheb too, you also prevent them from Holy Firing, which is big. And we know that's... I don't think that's in Transit's deck, but Xixo doesn't know that.
That's right. Now, what about maybe a Gnomish Inventor and Sludge Belcher? Because I'm starting to feel like the taunt could be a very good idea here. Oh, it looks like he does want to remove this right now. I guess this does give him another minion, so it makes sense to just get rid of it.
Yeah, let's see what he gets. And it will...
Oh my god!
An Auctioneer. Alright.
If he only had a spell that could be cast here.
You know, it's a little bit dangerous with 2 Auctioneers, so you'll actually end up discarding cards really quickly.
Yeah, that's true. You gotta be careful about that.
Yeah, I like this, though. Just like we were kind of talking about. Yep, and now with 2 Auctioneers, he's got really nothing to worry about. I think it's very unlikely that Transit can clear that board in time. Fugan goes down. Okay, wow, those are 2 really big taunts, though.
God, I mean...
Jeez, that's going to take most of the board.
Yeah, he keeps on just having so much to deal with this.
Why not take out Lotheb, too, yeah?
And it looks like... Yeah, I kind of like the go into face. I do, because he's going to draw... He has to be careful about playing spells, because the fatigue will add up in like 2 seconds.
I agree, yeah. Yeah, the 5/8 you can kill with that. Maybe you should have backstabbed that first, though. I think you're going to cast some spells before you get rid of your second auction.
He only has 1 card left in his deck, though.
Oh, he does?
So probably wants to...
Probably doesn't want to do that, then. Yeah. There we go. Okay.
Oh, and that's...
then I guess if he's playing that, we would assume that he's got the damage.
No, but he doesn't. Oh, wait.
I think
no, yeah, he does.
I think he does, yeah.
Yeah, he does. He has that Deadly Poison in hand, so...
Right, yeah.
That will be just enough. Overkill by 1.
Oh, there you go. Alright, so in the end, Xixo, kind of like we were thinking, is able to take Game 3 with this Miracle Rogue deck, and he'll take the lead in the King of the Hill. Alright guys, well we're moving into game number 4 and Xixo has the lead 2-1, almost in prime position to knock Transit off of the top of the King of the Hill, and Transit bringing in his own Miracle Rogue, but a little bit of different flavor on this one.
Yeah, certainly. A lot of it is the same, no Azures or anything like that, seems to be a trend at the moment, but he actually has 2 unstable ghouls, which is kind of interesting.
I do like it. I think both of these have additions that are meant to improve different parts of Miracle Rogue. Like for instance, Xixo has the 2 Gnomish Adventures to try to up the mana curve a little bit in terms of like the faster draws, you know, just make it a little bit quicker. And the Unstable Ghoul is meant to sort of slow down your opponent and augment your removal already. So it's interesting to see these 2 changes in here because they both help the deck do what it's supposed to do. They just help different parts of it.
Yeah.
So
like Xixo's is more into drawing the cards a little bit more at least, and it looks like, you know, with those unstable ghouls, we're gonna have it would be easier for him to remove all sorts of minions. So
it seems like it's supposed to make the card efficiency just a little bit better. It seems like. So
I would say when these 2 decks face off, definitely you do have to give the edge to Xixo's though, because Sludge Belcher is going to be more powerful than Unstable Ghoul.
Yep. Generally, the slower deck will win.
Yeah,
if it's a little bit slower.
The Gnomish Inventor just adds a little bit more card draw and a little bit more hit points. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, with Unstable Ghoul, I could see that against a lot of aggressive decks being good to pair with Fan of Knives, essentially. And you and I are talking about it. You described it well. It's almost like Spell Power plus a Taunt because doing 1 damage to everything is kind of like that. So it's going to be a really interesting matchup. I feel like I agree. I have to give the edge a little bit to Xixo because he's got a little bit more creature punch to it, but we'll see. I mean, it could still go either way, I think. I'd say like maybe 55-45 in favor of Xixo. So like a little bit.
I think more than anything it relies on the early draws, like who gets the coin and like do you get Assassin's Blade quickly, things like that. But
Miracle versus Miracle is always played differently than Miracle versus any other deck too.
Sure.
But I think it's time, guys. Let's move into game number 4 and see if Transit can tie it up or if Xixo will put himself 1 game away from claiming the spot as the champion of the IRTU King of the Hill. All right, guys, here we go. Game number 4. Transit versus Xixo. Miracle versus Miracle. Whose Miracle is superior?
Well, all right. So Transit throws everything back. Probably a good play.
I think so too. Okay hand.
Just the gadgets on it. Looks like he wants to keep. I personally, I'm okay with this. Like, the Deadly Poison seems like a pretty good card because there's a lot of 3 health minions in Miracle.
I was gonna say, I think you can definitely make an argument to keep the Deadly Poison, but at the same time, do you really want to be using your own health in this matchup? I don't know. I'm not so sure.
If you don't kill them, they're definitely swinging that next turn. You're going to lose it anyway.
Well, that's the thing too, is you have to count on drawing that removal. So it's a bit of it's a risk to throw it back, but we'll see if it pays off. Draws a prep the first turn. Nice later on. I mean, that's looking pretty good for the Gadgetzan Auctioneer. Actually, he's got coin, prep, shadow step.
Sure.
Like, potentially he's got a good turn, but we'll see what shape he's in. You know.
Yeah. So looking here. Just gonna weapon up. Could have shivved there, but instead does want to be able to use his Deadly Poison.
Yeah, I think with Deadly Poison in the hand, it's a good idea to just give yourself more options, you know? And just weapon up for 6 as well. So looks like Fan of Knives for Transit, just trying to draw into everything. There it goes. And what does he get? He drew the Auctioneer for his turn draw, and it looks like he gets the Earthen Ring Farseer for his Fan of Knives.
His hand's actually pretty good. He's got a good amount of minions in here. And he has a Gadgetzan as well, so that's all very nice to see. And, ooh, I like this Van Cleef right there.
Yeah, that's a nice 6/6.
We don't have any bounce, actually, right now for Transit, so that could be an issue.
Certainly could be. We'll see what he has to deal with this here. He's got Thalnos. He's got ways to get spell power. He's already played some stuff from his hand, but I didn't see what he grabbed.
Deadly Poison, and then it looks like we're going to have the SI7. He could prep out a Shiv as well.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. It's a painful thing to do.
Yeah.
Having to hit it with your face and prep out a Shiv if he does choose to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it does use up a lot of cards in your hand, and this is kind of one of the dangers.
Whoa.
He leaves it alive. Wow.
Well, I guess this means you can just kill it next turn, but that's 12 damage to the face.
No kidding. I think it was worth the prep Shiv, man. I
feel like if you're going to play that line, you almost got to do it. But the thing is, for 6 extra damage, what he's doing is giving himself like 2 extra draws.
I think he's gonna attack, and do you think he's gonna shadow step it maybe? I think he's gonna shadow step it. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, at 1 health, why wouldn't you?
That's brutal. Yeah, you're completely right.
Yep. And
just
he can get an even bigger one now.
God, that's painful.
10-10.
Transit a little bit too greedy here.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit too greedy and a lot of bit dead. It's going to be really tough for him to deal with this board.
Well, considering there's 13 points of damage out there and he has 13 health.
Well, he can heal himself for 3, but that's not. He's going to need more than that. Yeah.
Well, there's no way at this point. Like, it looks like he wants to go with a Gadgetzan and start cycling through a bit, but with no mana, he literally has to. It doesn't even matter what he draws. He has to draw a prep, which draws him like a sap. That's it.
Well, he shivs his opponent's face. He does draw into an Eviscerate and a Blade Flurry. Is that actually enough? No, that's 9. If he would have shivved Van Cleef, he might have been able to do it, but he doesn't have enough mana for it anyway.
No, he certainly doesn't. Yeah, the Blade Fury at least takes away 3 points damage there, but we have a Deadly Poison on his opponent's weapon, so he dies anyway.
Yeah, he just gives up. Yep.
Wow.
That is it. Wow, that was a quick game. There you go, 6/6 Van Cleef into 10-10 Van Cleef. That's how you win Miracle Rogues, and Xixo goes up 3-1. Alright guys, well it looks like Xixo is 1 game away from becoming the new iHeartU King of the Hill champion, but Transit has brought out a very, very good counter deck to Miracle. It's actually Trap Hunter, which is something I can't remember the last time we've seen a deck like this, but when you think about it, it is a pretty good hard counter to Miracle.
Yeah, it's certainly been a while, but it basically was designed as a counter, you know, a while back. A lot of people were using Trap Hunter after the nerf to Unleash the Hounds, and yeah, I mean it's really strong against Miracle if you play it right. You know, you've got the snipe even to kill a Gadgetzan. You've got so many secrets in here that actually just mess up a Miracle. So
yeah, you've got a little bit of Nax flavor in there as well too. Haunted Creeper, and more importantly, Mad Scientist, which is really important in any sort of secret deck these days.
Mad Scientist is insane in Hunter. This is really the deck that Mad Scientist is for, is a Hunter deck, not a Mage deck, not a Paladin deck.
Yeah.
He's for Hunter, so...
And even going down for Captain Greenskins too, man. That Eaglehorn bow is going to be like the scariest Eaglehorn bow ever.
As if it wasn't too good already with all these secrets in here. Now he's got the Captain Greenskin.
He's going to do 4 damage all the time. Yeah.
I am so favoring Transit to win this match. I mean, Miracle definitely can beat a Trap Hunter if things go its way, because it is Miracle Rogue, but I'm feeling Transit's starting the comeback train right now.
I think he's got the edge, and he'd better win it too. Otherwise, he is out. We'll see if he can take it, guys. Let's move into game number 5 and see if we've got a new champion on the iHeartU King of the Hill, or if Transit will buy himself a new lease on life. It's game time. All right, guys, here we go. Game number 5, Xixo. If he wins this game, he is our new iHeartU champion. Can he do it? Can he take out Transit? Transit is going to try to bring in the Trap Hunter, and I think it's a great choice. But the thing is this the kind of deck that can win multiple games in a row? Like, now that I think about it, it's a great counter, but
yeah.
I wonder, you know?
Trap Hunter can pull wins against anyone, really, but you're right. There's definitely some good counters to it. So
yeah, well, we'll see. He has to win this game first.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Luckily, we already have, the Warrior deck gone, so, maybe Xixo doesn't have another deck that's going to be super good against it, but we'll see.
Yep. Okay, tracking, and
looks like
it's a tough choice.
The two sides actually just switched here. Never seen that happen in the King of the Hill, but we actually have Transit down to the bottom now. For just a second there we did at least, and now we have the back up at the top.
Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't even notice that.
Kind of weird. But anyways, it's okay.
Yep. Everything seems to be right with the world now.
Yeah. And it didn't switch back. Okay, so getting our brains back on track here. Just going to start playing some early minions. Doesn't really have any decent traps yet, to be honest. Well...
sorry, I like randomly yawned. I'm like, I'm not bored. It's just one of those like sudden yawns. Like, who knows?
Trap Hunter, who needs it?
Actually, what I wanted to say is Haunted Creeper has become such a great card in a lot of Hunter decks because it really fits in the mana curve beautifully. There was this point in the early game for Hunter where you didn't really have a lot to play if you didn't have Animal Companion, and I love Haunted Creeper. I think it's another one of my favorite cards that's come out.
Yeah, it's a really nice one. It's kind of like a small Harvest Golem or something.
Yeah,
so.
basically, yep. And it fits so well in Hunter. Yeah. It's a beast and everything.
Well, looks like we're going to have this Gnomish Inventor come down. Very nice. Can line up a kill on that Haunted Creeper and kill in with his blade as well. Has a okay hand right now.
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, he has to kind of play a couple secrets here to be careful about the, getting the weapon charges back up. So let's see. What is he going to play?
Looks like a freezing trap.
Freezing would be interesting.
It's going to be the choice here, and of course he does want to play a trap, just because he needs charges on this bow, and as he gains more charges, that's more and more damage.
And I kind of like that he played freezing trap too, because it puts Xixo in a situation where if he does attack and the Gnomish Inventor does get sent back, it's probably not going to get played again, and if it does, it's going to take up most of its turn.
Yeah.
It's a really big mana drain. Okay, so there's the Stranglethorn Tiger. It's going to go down and just kind of bide its time with that one.
Can be quite a scary card indeed. We do have this freezing trap go off, so goodbye Gnomish Inventor. We'll see if he decides to play that again at some point.
He could, but I think the Auctioneer is going to be the way to go. I mean, he's got a Conceal, he's got a lot of good stuff here. But
the Conceal is just so strong. That is 9 points of damage sitting there and waiting.
And he draws a Sludge Belcher, so not like the strongest draw off that Auctioneer. Would have liked to kind of keep going with like a Prep or something, but the Sludge Belcher is going to be a really potentially good play next turn.
Well,
Flare.
This is a good play right there, isn't it?
Yeah, Flare's pretty good. It's not bad.
Oh, looks like he's going to be able to basically remove everything here. You can use that Stranglethorn onto the 4/4 as well.
Yep. He's even running a Snipe, too. So Gadgets and Auctioneers are just generally not going to live very long.
They're going to be on the Endangered Species list here, so...
Yep.
Looks like he's going to go ahead and throw down another trap.
Okay. And I believe that one was a Snake Trap. Yeah, that's right. Shiv, well, I can take out the Tiger easily enough.
Yeah, he's going to have to do that, of course.
I think so. I think you Shiv into Sludge Belcher here.
Most likely.
Hang out.
I'm not sure what else you really want to do here.
Yeah, well, Assassin's Blade, I think that you could make an argument for that because there's no real damage coming in. I like that a little bit better. Yep. Get a little bit more damage onto your opponent. You've got 2 Shadow Steps and Leroy, so next turn he's got 18 damage in his hand already. Like, he could just win next turn, depending on the traps that come out. Xixo knows, going into turn 8 against a Miracle Rogue, he needs to play some traps.
Well, he's definitely going to be playing those traps, though. And
yeah, well, at least one.
Wow, I'm actually surprised he's not double trapping.
Me too, yeah. Going into turn 8, I'd be very nervous. I mean, it's unlikely that your opponent does have both Shadow Steps, but still, you got to be so careful. And that is not careful. He has to coin into a trap now.
Well, even by doing a trap, like, what... I guess freezing trap is what you what? Isn't
Whoa!
Isn't
Well,
he
I
dead?
guess he's dead.
It's
wow,
like,
that was a major
because he
mistake
can
by
shadow step
Tranzit.
twice. That's 18.
Yeah, it is. Am I crazy? No, this is 8 mana. Leroy double shadow step. That is literally death for Xixo. Is he distracted by the minions on the board? He's
Oh wait,
got
no, there is a trap out there, but it's
there's a snake trap. Oh, so he's gonna play it cautiously. He doesn't know.
Oh, you know what?
That's
This
so
is what's
funny.
going on.
Mind games is what's
He
going on.
attacked with his dagger, so he's quite sure here
Mm-hmm.
that, oh man, should have done that first.
Yep,
Should have done that first. Right now he has to be kicking himself, because if he had simply done that first, he wins.
Yeah, exactly.
But instead now we get a ton of cards drawn.
Oh
and
man, are you kidding me?
I mean, we might even get a lethal out of this for Tranzit, so...
Weirdly enough, yes, I think we possibly could. Yeah, that secret was cut off, so I didn't know it was still there.
Yeah, I forgot about it,
yeah.
but like... Oh man, that was definitely a misplay. That attack is important because it could have been a misdirection, could have been a snake trap, could have been a freezing trap, and actually it could have been a snipe.
Wow.
So he actually didn't test everything that he could have.
Yep.
Even though he was still going to do the actions that turn. So
Just
a mistake,
wasn't-
but
Just wasn't quite thorough enough, and that really hurts.
now can this actually be a kill?
Let's see. He can Hunter's Mark, so he can kill it with like 2.
Yeah.
So he'd have 3 damage
He can
remaining.
Hunter's Mark, and yeah, it looks like he can actually just kill him because he has Leroy and he has Unleash, right? So
Well, Unleash is only going to give him 1.
no, because Leroy gives him 2 minions over there.
Oh, you're right. Duh. Okay.
So that would be 1, 2.
Oh, he's just going to trap up.
2,
All
3,
right.
4,
Just playing it uber
5,
safe.
6, 7, 13.
Well, he should
He
still.
could have done with 13.
At-
Oh no, he wouldn't have. He just barely would have killed him. So actually, yeah, this is a good play there to not do that. And
Right. And at
plays
this
a lot
point-
of secrets as well.
At this point, he should win because yeah, he's still at 18 health. Now he's got both freezing and explosive out. I think it was. He's got 2 traps, so yeah, it's not.
He
looking
definitely has
good
a
for
freezing
Xixo.
trap there. I think actually is the other one a snipe?
Yeah, the other one is in fact a snipe. That's right. That's the other one he played.
So a bit of a misplay here from Xixo is actually going to cost him this game. He's definitely
Yep.
dead next turn.
I would say so. I don't
There's
think
really
we get
nothing
around
that
it.
he can
Leroy's
do.
about to get sniped. I believe. Yeah, there's the secret. Concede, snipe, and goodbye Leroy. Goodbye the game, and Tranzit stays alive. My apologies. Yep, and Xixo with a little bit of a mistake. Could have won that one. Could have taken the match, but instead we're going to game 6. Alright guys, we'll still do our die time for Tranzit. He won the last game, but he's still 1 game away from being eliminated as the champion of the I Heart You King of the Hill. Meanwhile, Xixo though, if he can take this game with his Shaman deck, he can become our new champion, knocking Tranzit off after 2 wins. And yeah, he's bringing in Shaman, and it's a pretty good sort of little bit of Nax adjusted Shaman, but overall just kind of a solid control Shaman. Yeah.
It's what you would expect to see.
Yep.
One of the important cards that is in here is Harrison Jones, so he can take out that Eaglehorn bow, which causes so much damage.
Yeah, Harrison is back in a big way. He's in like a lot of decks
Yeah, we've
now.
been seeing him popping up everywhere, and rightfully so. You know, still though, a Hunter deck can definitely kill a Shaman deck. Shaman doesn't ever really have life gain in it, so it can be hard to hold on when they're using their hero power a lot. You know, the kill commands Leroy, that's a lot of damage.
Well, Explosive Trap really kind of plays hell with totems too, so I mean, there's lots of stuff that that Hunter can do against Shaman. So I really could see this one going kind of either way, but I guess there's only one way to find out, huh?
Alright, well, let's go ahead, jump into this game, and see, will we go to that game 7, or will we have a new King of the Hill?
Alright guys, here we go. What could be the final game of the day. We'll see if Xixo can take it, or if Tranzit can come back and tie up the series in a Trap Hunter versus Shaman matchup. Kind of a matchup we don't see very often.
No,
Pretty interesting.
Certainly not. Interesting that he keeps the snipe here. I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that, but you know what? An early snipe is good against Unbound Elemental.
Exactly, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 health minions, it's kind of made for it, yep. You know, in Korea, he's got Alakir in his deck, and in Korea, they call Alakir Cancer Lord, actually, in the
why
scene.
is this?
Because in Korean, the word for wind is param, and I guess that's very similar to the word for cancer. It's like one is like param, and the other one is like paraam. It's like very close. So basically, all the fans of Hearthstone in Korea just call Alakir, they call him Alakir the Cancer Lord, I guess.
Oh.
They've died to too many Wind Fury combos.
Yes,
so,
I suppose so. Alright, kind of interesting to find out.
Yes, a little bit of Korean scene tidbit there for you.
Um,
Thank me later. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah. Of course. Well, now, do you kill this guy and set off the trap this turn? Because that's definitely something that I would suggest. Like, I think,
You gotta get rid of it at some point. Yeah,
I like
better
this
now.
move. I think that the only way to really deal with the Mad Scientist is to kill him and deal with the trap on the same turn. Otherwise, I feel like it's too
Oh,
strong.
misdirect. That's actually perfect
yeah,
too. Wow.
Yeah, this is the best case scenario, really.
It really was, man.
Like, the thing is, he doesn't really care about that. Yeah, he lost his Divine Shield, and you did damage. Oh, he has a Healing Totem. So,
Wow.
overall, this worked out completely fine.
That was pretty much the ideal turn in terms of getting rid of that guy.
Well, it looks like he will go ahead, drop a bow here, and just kind of start going to face, as he should. This is not a very powerful board out right now for Xixo.
Yeah. Alright, Lightning Storm is a draw. He's got 2 in his hand. Defender of Argus, I think, is a great choice here. Will allow him to get a little bit more of board control, but the big thing he has to worry about is Unleash, you know? He's got a couple turns. Usually turn 5 is a big combo turn, but so far, I mean, Tranzit doesn't have the best hand for that. He does have Explosive Trap now, but that Defender of Argus really changed the effectiveness of Explosive Trap in this game.
Yeah, it certainly did. Like, we're going to have a lot of minions. 3 minions will actually live through this.
Yeah, and that's
then
a
get
healing
healed.
totem, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, like that Explosive Trap really didn't actually do that much. I actually, even though it did recharge the bow, I think I would have hit the spider there. Because then it gives you a couple 1/1s that are going to be cleaned up. You know, it's a much less scary board at that point. But
You know, I gotta say, okay, another Explosive Trap
Yeah.
drawn. That's a good one for Transit, but you know, the thing is, if he can deal with this board, his opponent doesn't have the greatest hand. So, yeah, we'll see what he can do. Now, finally dealing with that spider, and I think we're gonna see the Explosive Trap played. It did, yeah.
yeah, this is a good play. That was a good
Definitely.
draw, actually. And now that these are all at 2 health, probably going to catch him.
I
He's
think so.
probably going to go ahead and lose this whole board now, I would say.
Yeah,
But there's a possibility. I mean, Six is a very good player. He may just sit there and wait.
you know, with the healing totem out there, I would definitely be in favor of just waiting a turn and not attacking, because you would get like, what, like you'd save 3 damage, you'd have a 2/3 and a 1/3 out. I think that's definitely worth it. Yeah.
Well, I think he's really considering it right now.
I would too, especially when you've got the option for Flame
Wow.
Tongue Totem too. Yep, good patience. I like that.
Yeah, that's very well played.
Yeah.
By the way, Sixa doesn't care about Unleash combos.
No, man.
He's like, you draw as many cards as you want. I'm just going to populate this board.
You can't play around that, I guess. Yeah. There's another Mad Scientist, so that's going to be another secret that Transit brings out. He still has one on the board, I believe. I can kind of see it peeking out there. It's still that Explosive Trap.
Yeah, I'd like to see him go ahead and drop another trap as well. Like, he just needs to play these traps out, I think.
I think so too, especially when you think about going into these next turns. It's really likely you'd see like a Fire Elemental or something, and if you can snipe a Fire Elemental, oh man, that is so good. With an Explosive Trap out, perfect.
Yeah, that would be very nice. I think it'll probably trigger it pretty quickly here. And yeah, we're going to
There
see
we
the
go.
snipe drop as well.
Yep. Now, let's see what gets sniped here. It might be the Flame Tongue Totem. Do totems activate
No,
snipe? I don't
they
think
don't
so.
activate
Yeah.
the snipe. You actually, and the Feral Wolves don't as well.
Okay, that's what I was
Feral
wondering,
Wolves,
yeah.
whatever it's called. But yeah, I think he'll probably remove this Mad Scientist, then try to set off as many traps as possible.
I think that's a good idea. I think you have to do it. You have to have those turns where you just like expose their traps and kind of just get it out of the way.
Yeah, you certainly do.
Yep,
Well,
there you go. Explosive Trap, 2 things live, so that's good.
and of course, he has one more trap there that hasn't been taken care of yet.
Yep, and that is the snipe, as we know.
And I think we're actually going to see an Earth Shock.
Yeah, we could.
Well, it looks like that snipe will go off.
Oh, wow.
But
yeah.
I would like to see the Earth Shock on this. I mean, there's just so many traps here. It's very annoying. You let your guys die. You have a nice taunt here. He's got a lot of charges. Make him use them.
I really agree with the Earth Shock, and he is going to do it. Okay, so there's 3 damage to the face, too. And it doesn't give his opponent that extra trap. I don't think he has too many remaining. I think that would have had to be like a Frost Trap, right?
He's definitely got 2 freezing traps.
Yeah, because he already played both explosives.
And a snake trap.
Yeah, okay, so it'd either be a freezing or a snake at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
If that would have happened. But it didn't, so no worries.
Yeah, I mean, both of them very nice to have out, but not really doing that much.
Well, Transit's still lacking that Unleash the Hounds, too. That's really what's hurting him more than anything. I think you have to play the Buzzard this turn.
I agree with you on that, though.
I think you gotta go
that-
Buzzard and Spider and see what you draw.
Yeah, he's just kind of getting too low right here on on health. Like, he's got to make something happen. In fact, he's being a little bit greedy, though. He doesn't have any card draw.
Ooh, he's being way too greedy.
Yeah. Thing is, if he, like, draws the Unleash in the next turn, he's going to be great. But if he doesn't, it's going to hurt.
Defender of Argus is coming out. That's going to make the board even better. And, I suppose you could make an argument saying now Transit is, 4 hero attacks away from winning and potentially just like a less than that if he draws into another kill command. But will he live long enough to do any of this? It doesn't look like it. He's under 10 himself, too, so...
He needs Unleash this turn.
I think so, too.
Like, I think he has to get it. He has all the pieces to make Unleash kill.
And does he draw... What does he draw? He draws the Animal Companion. Okay, well, that's something. If he's lucky, he'll get the 4/4 taunt. He does not.
Well, what's he draw?
Freezing Trap. All right. That might sustain him for a little bit longer, maybe.
Yeah. Well,
I think you, Hunter's Mark the 3/4 and just take it out with your Spider.
Yeah, and I would say you probably just attack the 1/3 as well. No reason to leave it there.
I agree. Yeah.
All right, so I mean, he's got a strong board here.
He does, but Lightning Storm in the hand of Xixo, though, so I don't think that board's going to last very long.
Yeah, certainly not. And in fact, we're so close to him being dead right now. In fact, that's 6 damage that we can see. 6 +
2, that's lethal. He's got Rock Biter plus Lightning Bolt
there's
plus
a
2 on the
freezing
board.
trap out.
Oh, you're right. There's a freezing trap. Oh, our overlay cuts it off. I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying actually. But, does that? There's 5 damage actually for Transit once he clears the board. Just to throw that out there.
True.
So this is actually getting like really close. They are both so close to killing each other. You can bring him to 2, and then he can bring him to 1.
You have to give credit to Transit for going for the win here, too. And I say just probably taunt and then replay this Defender of Argus.
Oh, I think you got to do double Lightning Storm. Or
of course.
Like maybe,
at least 1 Lightning Storm, at least.
Yeah, maybe a Hex and Lightning Storm.
Yeah.
I think that would be fine. Like, the thing is, you have to remove all the minions. If any minion damage gets through, you die, because he has the bow, and he has his hero power. That's 5, and you're at 6.
Yeah.
So,
well, let's see. And he's not going to try to roll for a spell power totem or anything like that. Just going to kind of YOLO it. You must.
I think you do roll the totem. Like, what else are you using it on?
Yeah.
And if you have a totem out on the next turn, you can... If you have 2 totems out, you can win because you have that defender, right?
I think he's wondering if he just wants a defender right now,
Huh.
Get himself a 1/3.
I mean, that's a good point. That could be actually the right play.
I think you could make an argument for that, again, because that sets up another win. Yeah, I like this.
You know what, you're right, because now it does the extra point of damage, and now he has to attack that with his bow.
Yep.
Which brings him down into lethal out of cards in hand.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, and that's
Captain
not the card he was looking for.
No, not really. Oh, that hurts, and that is going to be the game.
If he hadn't played that taunt, that could have been a winner for him.
Yeah, it's so close. He would have won if that taunt hadn't came out. Well, that's it. GG, and Xixo is going to take the King of the Hill. He's going to take it 4-2. Transit, 2 wins. Not too bad, but our new King of the iHearthU, King of the Hill, is Xixo. GG. Alright guys, there you have it. That's it. Transit, good run with 2 wins, but our new King of the Hill champion is going to be Xixo from Root Gaming.
Yeah.
Very cool match.
A lot of cool plays on both sides here. A lot of cool decks, actually. Definitely some that I'm going to be trying on the ladder, like, literally right after this.
Yeah, that's right. We got to test these out. Yep.
Alright, so, good job to Transit, though. Getting a couple really strong wins and actually doing pretty well against Xixo overall. I think each week he actually improved quite a bit. We were seeing less mistakes each time.
I agree. I think as far as the Korean scene goes, it was a good representation of the talent that exists here. Certainly capable of taking down some of the top players in Hearthstone worldwide, with maybe a little bit of development they could use yet, but overall, what will be a strong region really soon.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that. So, Xixo as the new king, I think this is a guy that has potential to stay here for a long time. Definitely
I've got a feeling.
Everyone really respects Xixo. All the pros know that he's a really top-end guy. So, we'll see if anyone can take him down next week. Yeah, well, thanks for watching, guys, for this week for the iHearthU King of the Hill with Doa and Artosis. That is it. Thanks to Simon for putting everything together, and thanks to our players for showing such great games. We'll see you next time, and see if Xixo can hold on to his seat or if a new champion will arise.
Bye.